a couple of years ago.
Oh,
I'm in Tampa Bay.
oh,
Huh?
everybody's ahead of me. I'm in Texas.
What part of Texas?
I live in deep South Texas, man, Brownsville. I'm about 10 minutes from the border.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yep, I'm as south as you can get. When you see the tip of Texas, that's exactly where we are. So well, it's 11:05. If you guys want me to go with the presentation, we can go with the presentation. I know there's only two people here. I don't know what you guys want to do, but I'm happy to run through this.
Yes, go ahead and run through it. We are recording, so if
Alrighty.
anybody wasn't able to attend at this time, they can view it later.
Alrighty.
Appreciate
Alright.
your time, Dennis.
Of course. My name is Dennis Acosta. I'm with Leisure Travel Alliance. I'm the Director of Member Sales and Service. Um, I guess the best way to describe that is I help the travel agents first line of defense if they're having issues. But I'm going to give you a little rundown on what Leisure Travel Alliance is, what we do, and how we help travel agents. So first slide, let's see if I can get this to work. All right, so you can see a lot of information there, and I'm going to kind of break it down and make it a lot easier. One of the main things we do is we help our agents retain their customers. We have a marketing program, which I'll talk about later. We help you attract new customers, hopefully with our marketing program and you having access to other suppliers, being able to deal with other people and show them other stuff that you can get them access to, will hopefully bring in more customers. And hopefully we can help you maximize the commissions and the profitability that you have. And I'm going to explain that as well. So preferred supplier relationships. We've got over 50 of the top suppliers, and each consortia has probably about the same number, and maybe some of the same ones. And then there's going to be some that we have different than other ones. But one of the best things about being with us is if you're an independent and just selling travel on your own, you're not part of a consortia, you're not part of a host. Moving up those commission structures, moving up those tiers is harder to do. The one I use that I remember that I used mostly is Royal Caribbean. So you're at Royal Caribbean, you're selling Royal Caribbean, you're at 10%. To move from 10% to 11%, if I'm right, it's $50,000, I believe, with us, or if you're an independent. With us, it's 35,000. So once you reach that 35,000, you move from 10 to 11. So that's less money for you to move up and start getting more money in your pocket. And so that's one of the benefits. Education and training, we do the same thing that we're doing right here. We get presentations from suppliers, all different kinds. We go in, people can come in Zoom, or they can actually go into our host agency that we have in Houston. They can sit down and meet the suppliers. But we get all that information. They have networking events where our suppliers will go into different cities. We let our members know that that's going on. They're able to go out there and meet the supplier, whether it be in Florida or in California or other stuff, because we do have agents from California all the way to New York and down to Florida. So we cover a vast area, mostly Texas, but we do have it kind of spread out. Let's see. Our marketing program. So our marketing program is absolutely funded by the suppliers. What happens is that supplier sends in their marketing. We take care of it. We put it all together. We put it into a PDF. We get it all fixed. We have somebody that specifically does that. And once it's all done and we get the approval, we then send a copy out to anybody participating in the marketing program. That program's absolutely free. So it doesn't cost the agent anything. They send in their list. We actually break it up into two lists, A and B. We've learned that if we send one marketing a week, maybe two, if I send one to A and one to B in a week, most people don't opt out. They're not getting inundated. And so they don't leave that program. So you're going to get a copy of it and you're going to say, okay, looks good to me. And you're not going to do anything. Once you're in, you're in. So if it's something we're sending out, you like it, you sit back, you let it go. Hopefully you're going to get a call. Hey, I just got this email that says they got this going on. What can we do? Another thing it does is it keeps your company name out there. They get the email and they're like, I don't want to do that, but I need to call Rachel and say, hey, my cousin just got back from South Africa. We're looking at a trip. What can you do for us? So it keeps your name out there. And it because it's an opt-in, you don't have to worry about it. The only thing you would have to do is if you didn't like it, you looked at it and you're like, I don't think I've got any customers right now that are looking at that specific trip or anything. You just send me a quick email that says, please opt out. We don't send it out. If by chance one of your customers opts out, says, you know what, I'm sick of getting there, having a bad day at work or whatever it is, and they opt out, they're going to opt out of our list that we have put on a secure server. They're not opting out of you. So you're still going to be able to email them. You're still going to be able to contact them. They've just opted out of receiving marketing from us, and you're still having access to them. So that's another way it kind of helps, because if you're sending a lot of stuff and they get, having a bad day or just get tired of, seeing a bunch of ads and stuff and they opt out, you lose them. This way, we're sending the marketing. You're not worried about it. They can get the information and you still have access if they opt out. One of the other things we did is, and we keep it simple. We didn't go overboard. We didn't go crazy, but we have what we call our member portal is Access LTA. That has everything in it. So if you came on board as a member, I would send you, I would go in and I would set you up on the portal. And what happens is you get an email. I don't have access to your password. I don't have access to anything else. All you're going to do is get a link, tells you what to do. You follow it, you get signed up. Once you get signed up, then you can go into that portal and it gives you pretty much everything you need to know. We've got it as simple as we can get it. You've got suppliers, you've got their commissions, you've got their phone numbers. You've got any marketing that they're sending, consumer marketing. We keep it there and we archive it when we need to. Gives you access to their email, not emails, yes, access to their emails for their BDMs or something like that. So you have all the information there and it's pretty well broken down. And again, like I said, the commission structures are there. So you can go in there and look and be like, okay, I just hit this. Why am I not getting this? And you can either come to me or you can go to the supplier and say, hey, look, I just hit 50,000. I want to make sure that my commission is going to be correct. And if they say yes, then you're good. And if they say no, then you come to me and then I go back, I talk to them. And if they don't listen, then I move it up the chain. Usually they're pretty good about listening though. So one of the other big things with us is agent friendly dues. My father-in-law who passed away 14 years ago now, Stuart Godwin and Steve Kaplan started this company and we haven't charged dues since. 2007 is when it started. I've been with the company, just had my 17th anniversary in October, and we've never charged dues. We've been able to make it work with how we get paid through the suppliers and our marketing. And so I think that's something that's really good with us is we're a small company. Doesn't cost you anything to be a part of it, but you have access to a lot of information and help. Okay, let's see. So Access LTA, this is some of the stuff I went through in my head because I do this all the time talking to people without the slides. But you've got your supplier commission information, you got your supplier offers, training and education section, LTA cruise amenity programs, which I'll go over a little bit because that's one of mine that I deal with a lot. Okay, I don't have a screen, but it looks like, where did it go? There we go. All right, so this is what it looks like when you log in. This is what it looks like. You have your agent log in, you log in, use your password, and it's going to get you into the site. And this is what you're going to see when you scroll down just a little bit. You're going to see all of the cruise lines that we currently have, all the way from AMA all the way down to Virgin Voyages. And that's going to say, okay, and then you can go in and click on their module and it'll take you directly into what they have and what they're doing. That's what happens when you click on Royal Caribbean. So I was wrong. It was 0 to 35. My apologies. Once you hit 30, I did say 35. You move up to 10. So I did get it right. But you can see there, it gives you your commission structure. It shows you the booking and the contact information. And then it shows you current promotions. And that's good for you guys, especially the travel agents that are getting tons and tons of emails. If somehow somebody sees that consumer email and says, hey, Royal Caribbean's doing this deal, have you seen it? And you're like, yeah, I saw it, but I deleted it. You've got access to it here. And so we've got it archived. You can come in, take a look, and it goes back even further. We archive it all the way back, I believe, a year, which of course, most of them don't last that long, but you have access to a couple of months ago in case it's still viable. This is something else that shows you on the access page when you look up. We've got our LTA events, our training calendar. Our training calendar is the big one. That's where we do the meetings. The supplier comes in, we'll record them, and we'll pop them in there so you can have access to them later. One of the other things is we have a tools page. And a lot of you guys already have this, and you may have it on your computer and you may have it saved or something like that. We're just giving you access to it here if you don't. It gives you your, your booking engines, cruising power and VAX, of course. Downloads, the quick reference guides, the destination index and the index by destination. So somebody might come in and say, hey, do you know anybody that does Bangladesh? I don't know anybody that does Bangladesh, but you can go in here and click on this index by destination and type in Bangladesh. If there's somebody there, it'll bring it up. So whatever tour operator or whatever may have it, it's going to bring it up and tell you who it is. Your quick links, that just breaks down stuff so you can tell them, what to carry on, the flight tracker and just the different stuff. It's just kind of stuff we wanted to add. And then, of course, government stuff, and that stuff can change on a daily basis because we all know how awesome the government is. Passports, TSA, your state government stuff. So it's just little pieces that we think may help if you don't already have it or have access to it. This is mine. So this is the group amenity program, and online it's called group space, but that's just because there's a lot of space there that's under this part. So we've got lots of sailings. We're using 6 different cruise lines. And what I do is I go in, I just did this a couple months ago. Anytime the new stuff comes out, like Alaska came out for Holland in 2026. What I do is I go in there and I grab as much as I can, or they'll let me. So they usually give me 1 ship per month. And so with Holland, I think I picked 4 or 5 different ships, 1 ship per month, and I'll go in and pick inside, outside, balcony, and suites, depending on what's available. I try and max out the onboard credit. If there's anything left, then as you can see there, I'll add canapes or, food or whatever I can add. But the benefit of this is more of an FIT site. So that person comes into your office and says, man, my sister-in-law just got back from Alaska. We want to go to Alaska. So what you can do is you can go into this amenity program and you can pull up and you can actually sort it. You can sort it by, let me go over here. So you can see here, it gives you the cruise line, the vessel, sail dates, nights, description, where you get on board, where you get off board, and everything else. So what you can do in here is you can actually go in here into this destination description. You click on it, it's a drop-down box, and you can pick Alaska. And it's going to give you all the Alaska stuff I have. So if they tell you they want to go to Alaska in June, you're going to be able to look here and find out all the June stuff I have for Alaska. And then you're going to be able to say, okay, well, this is what we have. And then what we tell you is you go to the rep, whoever it is for whatever cruise line, and you say, this is what I'm looking at. What do you still have available? Because this is available to all the members. So Rachel may have gone in there and found June, and she's like, heck yeah, and she picked the balcony. So the balcony is going to be gone because I'm only allowed, I believe it's 8 cabins. So I try and spread it out. So she may have taken the 2 balconies that I have, but I still have inside, I still have outside, and I still have suites. So the next person will be able to go in there and say, what do you have left? And they'll be able to tell them what they have left. And then that gives you access to that. Makes it easy if you're just trying to find something quick, give some information to your customer or break it down for them. One of the other things we do is our travel talk. And of course, that came about during our horrid C word we don't talk about anymore. We were trying to find a way to keep communications open with our members. And so what we did was we started Travel Talk. So we have a host agency in Houston. They have an office. And so what'll happen is anybody that's in the area can go in, supplier comes in, we'll give the presentation. And at the same time, we do a Zoom presentation. So the people like me, I don't live in Houston, I can still watch it, see what's going on, or people from all over the country. And then we also record it. So if you weren't able to attend, you look at it and you're like, man, I got a meeting. I got to go meet Mary. We're supposed to have coffee and talk about our next trip. I'm going to miss it. You can come back. And like I showed you on the previous pages where it says training and events, we're going to put that presentation inside there. So you're still going to have access to it later. Anybody's able to use it. We have our host who has their ICs, and then we have our members. All are welcome. And we do about 15 to 20 a year. So we spread it out. We do tour operators, we do cruise lines, we've had the insurance companies in there. We had TIS in there, I believe. So everybody's welcome. So again, we have our email marketing program. We had just talked about that. I kind of went over it. It's on a secure, we're going to securely store your information. And please understand that I'm not using your emails for anything other than the marketing program. I'm not trying to do anything with those. I'm not soliciting them for anything. I use it to try and generate sales for you and to keep your name in their, in their box so they know that, hey, you're still doing business and you're still there. That's the only thing it's used for. We sign a piece of paper that says that's the only thing we're using it for. So I know in the past, when I first started, I would ask for somebody's contact list for their clients. And that was like asking for their left arm. I mean, I had people yelling at me like, you're not getting my client list. I promise you, I'm only using it for marketing. I don't have any reason to use it for anything else. Again, it's all funded by LTA and our preferred suppliers. It's opt in. Once you're in, you're in. You can also opt out by just saying, please don't send it to that on that particular marketing. It's not shared. I don't even share it with our suppliers. We just send it out. They can't see it. They can only see that it's being sent. We can take almost any electronic list. If it's on paper, I can probably go hire some high school kid and have him put it in Excel, but the best way to get it to us is Excel. I just need first name, last name, and email address, and then I plug in the company or agency name and the phone number. We drop it into our server and it picks it up from there. And I'm the contact for it. Let's see, this is some of the marketing we've done. This is what goes out to the customer. You can see down here at the bottom where it says agency name and agency number. That's the only contact information on the piece. You'll see it on the email. It says, I think it says something like coming from an LTA agent, but it doesn't say anything. It doesn't have any contact for us. So they can't find LTA. Just has your guys' name and information. I've had people also put, an email or something like that, or their cell number instead of their work number. It just depends on what you want to have in there. Some of the other marketing stuff that goes out, again, it's just your contact information. And that's pretty much it. We got our, my LTA family. There's my information, my email, and my work number. If for some reason you call my work number, and it's happened in the past, my landline, as a matter of fact, my landline says no service right now, and it just worked like 20 minutes ago. I have no idea why. If you call that number and it doesn't ring in my office, it's going to ring on this, my cell phone. Always forwards everything. Trust me, my wife asks me all the time, why is it ringing at 8 o'clock? And I have a customer in California calling. That's why. So I'm easily accessible. We're a small company, 3 main people run an LTA, but we've been doing it for a while and we think it works. So if you have any questions, I'm up for questions. It's a short presentation. I like to keep it short and sweet.
Well, thank you so much. That is, it's opened my eyes. I'm hosted, so you don't, like a hosted agent wouldn't be able to participate in this, correct?
Actually, if you joined our host, you would be able to do it. But you're hosted, I believe you said, through another consortia. And so
Yes.
that's fine. But yes, the only way you could do it is by if you were to join our host, and then you would have access to the marketing program and our suppliers and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Patricia, do you want to ask your question live, or do you want me to read it? You said something in the group chat.
I think you may have kind of answered it. Basically, what I was curious about is when I go in and look at the group space here and I see that there is a voyage number and a group number, things like that. Let's say I'm looking at Princess or Royal or whoever it is. I cannot go to their portal and put that group in to see what space is available. It has to be a call to their call center or to the our rep. How does that work?
So what I know about that is because I don't book, Patricia, and I apologize for that. And that's going to be a question that I'm going to ask somebody because I don't want to give you the wrong information. But what I understand is I've had people go in and fall into a group space where they've been looking at they've been looking at something and it pops up and I believe it shows them what cabins are available. I'm not positive though. So I will actually I'm actually gonna write this down, a piece of paper, because I was prepared.
Yeah,
This
I
would-
have the same question. So like especially like Royal Caribbean, because I know they have headquarter groups, which would normally be your
That's
consortium.
what I have. I have.
Yeah,
headquarters.
so you don't show up and we're with you guys. And we do love LTA, by the way, anyone who's going to use them. But we've never figured out how to use the group space.
Okay, so is this Rachel?
Yeah, this is Rachel. So if I go into Cruising Power, which is Royal Caribbean and Celebrities booking portal,
Right,
there's a section in there that's called headquarter groups.
right.
And if you have a host or a consortia, your there the groups would show there. But if I type in the number, I can't access any of LTA, but I do know that we're listed, like you said, the 35,000 is what it shows as our to get to 11,000. And that's actually another question I have because I know we've gone over that this year. Is that
Mhm.
on an annual basis or like once you hit a number, does it occur? Does the bump up occur at the time you hit it, or is it like for the next year? I know that's two different questions. But as far as getting your group space and seeing the cabins, I haven't been able to figure out how to do that on the cruising portals themselves.
Okay, what I've been told, and I'm writing this down because I need to know the answer to this, and I apologize that I don't, but I mean, it's the first time anybody's asked. Usually they find it and they go to when they're looking for, when they see it and they go pull it up, they pull it up either by the group number or by the voyage number, and they're able to see the information. I don't know why it's not under headquarters group. I'm going to go talk to Jeannie after this and find out why. But
I
once
didn't know, maybe it's not set up properly on our side that we're under LTA. I'm not sure.
it should be though, because you should have access to it. Because see, here's what happens. You go in there and let's say you book into one of these groups. I then don't have I can't tell you what you did because it's completely yours. So
Mhm.
that's what's concerning is you should have access to it because once you book into it, it's yours and I can't look at it. Because I'm actually having that problem right now. I have somebody's money that they shouldn't have sent to us from another cruise line, and I'm trying to find out who it belongs to, and I can't because I didn't book it. So I need to find out how that headquarters groups deal works. I apologize, both of you, Patricia and Rachel. I will get the information, and if you want to shoot me an email to my email address there, once I have the information, I will get it back to you.
Okay.
The 35,000 bump, my understanding is once you hit it, you move up. Because I've called in to say, hey, look, this is where they are. They need to move up. I don't know if that has to be done before a certain time. Like let's say, it has to be done before September because October, November, December, they're trying to put all their numbers together. And then in January, they say, okay, you reached 35, now we're bumping you to 11. My
Okay.
understanding is once you hit it, you go up, but I'm going to find that out from Jeannie as well.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
And should we be reporting anything to you know how um what's the word I'm looking for? Like when you're like under our true number registering bookings. I'm assuming no.
Anytime, no, ma'am. So what happens is when you came on board and you signed the affiliation letter, we sent that affiliation letter into all of our suppliers. And so whoever you're booking with should have you listed with us. It's happened in the past where they haven't, and I've had to go call them. But if you call and say, hey, look, I'm with LTA, why haven't you bumped me up? I hit 35, why haven't you bumped me up? And they say, well, we don't have you listed. Then you need to get a hold of me because then I've got to go back, pull up your affiliation letter, and then I have to go jump up and down on somebody's desk and say, why didn't you do this? Because you're losing, a percentage where you could move up, and we're losing revenue that goes into our pot because that's how we get paid.
Okay.
So
Okay.
they should have you listed with LTA, but if for some reason they don't, please let me know because that's not supposed to happen.
Okay. I will.
Alrighty. Patricia, did I answer your question? I think I answered it. I tried to answer some of it, but I'm going to get more.
Yeah, I mean, I think Rachel and I have the exact same questions. It's more about just how to do the group space, how to book it, how to access it, because, you know, don't see it, can't access it. So that's why we've never used it before.
Right. And like I said, what I've had done is the people call in and say, hey, I see this is available. And I tell them to call the BDS, or I tell them to call the res desk. And you say, I'm with LTA. They have this group. They have this FIT site FIT set up. What's available, or is it still open or whatever? And then I haven't heard back from them after that. I'm assuming they got the information. But I will find out exactly how that's supposed to work.
Okay.
Alrighty. If you just shoot me an email so I have your email, and then I'll send it back.
Dennis,
Okay.
it's Mary. We're with a host agency, Avoya. So did I hear you before say we can or cannot use your platform?
You wouldn't be able to use our platform because you're part of another host agency. And so,
Okay, that's what I thought.
yeah,
And what's the name of the host agency? Is it LTA?
it's LTA Central, and it's
Okay.
based out of Houston. Kathy Burns runs it. She's been with them for a while. And they were actually a host before, had some issues with some of our suppliers, and so Stuart went out, got a host agency so we could have access to some stuff and be able to benefit all of our members.
Yeah, and so Patricia and I were independent, true accredited agency, but this is it allows us to be part of a consortia and
Right.
have the benefits of it without,
And
and
we're
there's
not
no
in your,
fees.
yeah, we're not in your business. I'm not sending you a daily email. I'm not asking you to do other stuff. It's just, I mean, we just had our conference, and it worked out really well. We had about 100 agents on Royal Caribbean's Mariner of the Seas. We did a 5-day out of Galveston, and they got a lot of information and still had fun. Costa Maya and Cozumel. So is there anything else?
Anybody else have any questions? Wow.
All right.
Once,
Well,
going twice.
if that's it, it was a pleasure speaking with you. If you have any other questions that come up, Rachel, Patricia, anybody, if you have any other questions, send me an email, give me a call. I'm happy to answer anything. Or if you post this and you post it and somebody comes in there and looks at it, if you're seeing this and it's after, same thing, shoot me an email, give me a call. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank
Of
you very
course.
much, Dennis.
Thank you guys. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.
And you.
Thank you.
Thank
too.
you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Clara.